Hi, Stampers. My name is Mary Golden. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 16 years. And today you're watching the first video in a series of 4 that will work with the bundle called Beautiful Butterflies. Let me go ahead and switch to our work surface and let's get started. This is the card we're going to be making today. From the set. And then as we go through video 2, 3, and 4, we'll be going much more complicated and using many more of the items that are in this bundle. So let me show you the bundle that we're going to be working with. Beautiful Butterflies is a bundle that is in our new mini catalog that is January through April of 2025. It became effective on January 7th. And you can find the set that we're working with today on page 39. Now, I know many of you are going to say, Mary, I have a ton of butterfly stamps and die cuts. I don't need any more. This one is unique, so keep an open mind and let me show you the difference in what these dies can do. So this has beautiful butterfly stamps and greetings as well, but it also has a hybrid embossing folder. And when I show that to you, you'll see why this is so very unique. With the hybrid embossing folder, you can simply use it as any other embossing folder and go ahead and emboss this background on a piece of cardstock just like any other embossing folder. But it's unique in what it can do that also when we open up the dies, there's one special die that's in this set that will fit inside this embossing folder. And when we put these two together, there's the magic. It will both cut and emboss this butterfly for you. So you'll be able to remove it from the piece of background paper that you have also embossed. So it makes it very special. Now we're going to get into exactly how this works in videos 2, 3, and 4. So today we're going to simply start, we're not going to use this today, but we're going to just simply start with one of the very small butterfly dies, and this is the one we're going to use. Stampin' Up! Actually gave us 2 in this set, so if you want to cut multiple butterflies, which came in handy for me for this card because I have a butterfly on the outside and a butterfly on the inside. So I was able to cut them both at once, which made it so much faster and easier. So I love that Stampin' Up! Has been doing that more recently. Now you'll also notice there's all this beautiful background paper in here, and I'm going to get into where I got that from in just a minute. But let me show you the stamp set and all that comes with it in our new catalog. So again, this is the cover of our January through April 2025 mini catalog. And on page 38 and 39, you will find some layouts for this stamp set, the dies, and then there's also an entire suite, which means we have embellishments that go to it, which are beautiful sequins. And then we have also some designer series paper that all of these elements will work together beautifully to make a card. Now, throughout the next 4 videos, you're going to see all of these items used, except for these beautiful sequins. These would be great on a shaker card, but I do want to show them to you because they are absolutely beautiful. Some have a very beautiful iridescence and some are flat and just brightly colored. So you have a beautiful variety that would make a magnificent shaker card. But we're not going to worry about those today. But I did want to show you the beautiful bokeh paper. Now this is 6 by 6 and it does come in a variety of colors. I've got some of these already cut for one of our future cards in the future videos. So you will see these all used in video number 3 in our series. So stay tuned for those. On the following pages, you also have some more ideas on how to use both the sequins and the sequins and the dies that go to this set. So see how we can cut out the whole butterfly? This is what makes this set incredibly unique. So let me show you what it does real quickly. Even though we're not going to use it today, I do want to give you an example of what it looks like. I have one that I recently cut. So what it does when we put this die on, it literally will cut into your cardstock, leaving the butterfly attached and leaving this outward piece that we're going to go ahead and snip off. Then we will have the butterfly perfectly still attached to our card. And I will be working with video 2, 3, and 4, so I'll explain more as we go along. So stay tuned for that. But let's go back to our card that we're making today. Today we're starting simply with this one die. So I did cut it out of Melon Mambo paper, and I cut it out twice because I used one for the inside. This beautiful paper that you see being used here is from our Celebration catalog. Celebration happens every year in the months of January and February. It started January 7th and goes through February 28th. And what Celebration allows for you as customers and for me as a demonstrator is for every $60 you spend, you can choose a free item from this catalog. Now, there are stamp sets, there's beautiful designer series paper, and this is exactly where I got this beautiful paper that we're using on today's card. If you go to page 11 of your Celebration catalog, you will see this beautiful paper called Bloom Impressions. It's 12 by 12, and this is exactly what I used to make our card today. Okay? So if you're going to craft alongside me today, if you purchased one of my kits, if you live here locally and are one of my customers, then let me tell you a list of a few supplies that you can get out so you can craft alongside of me. You're going to need some liquid glue. You're going to need some dimensionals, mini and regular size. You're going to need a paper piercer, some score tape, an adhesive runner. Whatever bling you would like to use in your kit, you will find the bling that I used already waiting for you. They're called Riverside Irregular Pearls, and they are on the Stampin' Up! Website under online exclusives. They're absolutely beautiful. I got addicted to them and bought several packs for myself. And a pair of scissors. Once you have all these things, you're ready to join me and create this card. Okay, so my card today starts with, and I already have a kit ready to go so I can show you my pieces. Your card base starts with a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 Coastal Cabana, and I have that scored right down the middle at 4 1/4. So now we can go ahead and fold that and be ready to go. Now another item that I used, and I've already cut my piece for us, I did use some framelits that are retired. And I'm just trying to, there they are. And they're called Scallop Contours dies. These were from a few years ago, and I used the very largest one on my piece of Melon Mambo cardstock to make the layer that all of this is going to land on. Okay, so we're going to leave it separated for now. We're going to leave it as our work piece. Then the next piece I cut was a piece of basic white, and this is going to layer on perfectly on top of our rectangle. And that piece measures 4 11/16 by 3 1/2. Then I ran it through my Dashing Designs embossing folder. And this is in our annual catalog. You'll find that in our annual catalog. But this comes out with a beautiful, just general background that we'll be able to use for our card today. All right, so we're going to go ahead and layer this piece. Now, you can also use score tape. I always tell my girls, if something is embossed, use score tape. So just for the purpose of video today, I'm not going to do that because that will take us much longer. So I am just going to use a tape runner. Okay. There's our basic background. And now we're going to take our strips. Now, I cut 4 strips from that pretty designer series paper. And those strips are 1 inch by 3 3/16. And I chose the 4 floral prints that were in that package of designer series paper. Like I said, it's 12 by 12, so you can make quite a few of these cards if you choose that as your free item when you do a minimum $60 order before shipping during Celebration. Okay, so here's the 4 pieces that I chose. So if you want to look at those, you can see. And if you are making this card from scratch, you can see what I chose. And I'm going to put them in order of how I use them. Okay. So there is what we have. So this is what we're going to go ahead and glue onto here. Okay. So now we're just going to take these. And again, just for the saving of time, I'm going to go ahead and use my tape runner. But this would be a good time to use some, get out some liquid glue. That gives you a chance to make sure that these are straight and evenly spaced before you make sure they're down. For right now, I'm going to leave mine barely down. And I'm not going to press firmly on them until I know that I have these evenly spaced. I think this is the hardest thing with this whole card, is making sure your pieces are evenly spaced. Okay. Now I'm going to put my last one down on the end before I put down my middle one, because that will give me a little idea of how far I am. You see that better now? Oops, that one's not straight at all. Let me get that a little straighter. It's hard when you're trying to keep your head out of the camera. But let's get that a little straighter. That won't make me happy. All right, so that gives us about that amount of space now. All right, let's get the last one in and see how we wind up looking for space. Then once I'm happy, I can go ahead and press them down. And you want to be careful. Some of these DSPs do kind of have a top and a bottom. They are directional, so you do want to kind of be aware of that before you place them all down. Okay, don't like this one. Right now I can see that this one should come over a tiny bit more to the left. So we're going to equal that spacing a little better. And I like that one there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. So now I can go ahead and push them down and keep them into place. So that's always a good idea. If you just want to make sure you have equal space between this side and the top and bottom so that you have an even look. Okay, and then in the kit that I've already pre-made, I went ahead and made my greeting. Now, this stamp set has some beautiful greetings in it. I used the long happy birthday, and it has this amazing die in it that is long enough to be able to cut that out with that. So that's exactly what I did. And I used Blackberry Bliss ink, because that is the color that is in the background of this paper. So I took the darkest color. So I used Blackberry Bliss, and I stamped it, and I cut it out with the die that is in this set. And then we're going to put some dimensionals behind that, okay? So let me grab my dimensionals. I know I had them right here in front of me. Now they ran away. Okay. Here we go. All right, so now we can use some of the little ones. If I had my paper piercer here, that would have been very helpful right now, but I can do it with these. I do it with my fingernails. All right, 2 more. Oh, that one wants to stay on my nail and not go on my paper. Let's grab a couple of more. There might be one, Mike, out by my Big Shot. If you could look there for me. There should be a little poker. It looks like a little poker tool. Mike's going to see if he can grab the one I was using earlier today. I know I have one out there by my Big Shot. So, all right. Let me get all these backings off. All right. Okay, so there's our greeting. We have it on the back. So we're going to kind of place it towards the bottom, and we're going to go to this. Thank you, Mike. Mike grabbed it for me. Paper piercer, can't live without it. Okay, so we're going to just make sure that is straight. on our card and go ahead and press down. So now that's up on dimensionals. And then we have our little butterfly. Now, again, I pre-cut mine, but this is just big enough. Can you hear, you guys hear Harley? He's at my gate and he's talking to me. He doesn't like that mommy's not paying attention to him. So sorry if you hear Harley. We were gone for a little bit tonight and he wants mommy's attention. Okay, so I folded up my wings and I put the one-dimensional on the back. Okay, and I'm going to put it right here where I left this space for my greeting. And I'm going to go ahead and push that into place. Okay, and then I'm going to put this whole layer up on dimensionals. And this is where the big dimensionals come in to be a better fit. So you don't have to put on so many. So I'm using my large ones. But see how much easier it is with the paper piercer? I can just grab them and put them exactly where I want them. So much faster. I don't know how we ever lived without these tools. Oh, now he's whining. Okay, let me get the backings off. And we're going to have this card done in a jiffy. And we'll be able to move on to video number 2 with card number 2. I'm going to give you a preview. I'm going to show you all the other cards we're going to make in the future videos. So you'll get to see them before we finish here today. So I hope you'll stay with me and watch till the end. So you can see all the other cards we're going to be creating. Okay, I'm going to bring back in my card base that I folded. And we're going to center that onto our blue Coastal Cabana card base, okay? And now we've got that on, pressed down, nice and neat. Okay, so the one thing we're missing is our piece of bling, and I love this new bling. These are called Riverside Irregular Pearls, and these are online in the online exclusives. I think they're actually sold to go with the Utterly Otter kit that's there that has the river otters, and that's why they're irregular. They're supposed to look like rocks that are in a river, but they're beautiful. They come in 3 different colors and a small and a larger size. So for the butterfly here, I used the small one, and I used one of the blue ones. The ones that have the blue backing that kind of matches our card base, okay? And then all we have to do is the inside. Now, what I did for the inside of this card was I took another strip of our DSP, the same one that matches right here, and I cut the strip a 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 to go with my DSP. And so, and we're going to layer that right on to our basic white layer. Okay, our basic white layer is, let me find the inside measurement. Our first layer, Melon Mambo, is 5 1/4 by 4. Our second layer, basic white, is 4 15/16 by 3 11/16. And so your little strip will be a 1/2 inch by 4 15/16. Okay, so it'll match your piece of white, actually. All right. So we're going to grab our kit we had. As soon as I find it. Oh, here it is. Here's our kit, and in your kit, if you purchase one of these from me, I have the little pearl you need. And there's our butterfly for the inside. Okay, so we have one more butterfly, and we have our white and our Melon Mambo piece. So we can use our tape runner and go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of this. Now you can stamp a greeting, whatever greeting you choose. On a previous one, I'll show you what I did do. I had a stamp in my stash, and I'll show you that one if I can find it. Let's see. Here it is. And I stamped an inside greeting that says, wishing you everything that makes you happy. So I used the Coastal Cabana ink pad to do that. So you can stamp whatever greeting you choose on the inside. And here's our piece of designer series paper that I cut for this one. They're all going to be a little different. So this one has the pretty, I'm going to use the darker pink. Oh, maybe I want the lighter pink because that's pretty. That's pretty. All right, so we're going to put the adhesive on the dark pink side. So, and we're going to go ahead and put that at the very bottom edge of this basic white layer. Okay. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing we did before with this butterfly. Go ahead and fold up the wings slightly, and we're going to put a small dimensional right behind it, right here. And it fits perfectly right there in that little spot. Take off the backing, and we can put our butterfly right here. And then we can take our pretty pearl that's in your kit, or if you bought them, you can put one on there too. Okay, and now we can just take this and go ahead and add adhesive to the back and put on the inside of our card that we're making. And we'll be done with card number 1. Let's see. Here's our card that we have put together today. And we will have card number 1 done. So if you want to make more of these, it's really easy to kind of mass produce some of your pieces, so you can make several of these very, very quickly and have a good selection of birthday cards for the year to come. Okay, so this is the very first card in our series. Now we have 2 of them ready to go. So let me show you the other cards that are going to be in video 2, 3, and 4. Would you like to see those? I hope so. All right, so here is card number 2 that you're going to see in video number 2. This is, in this one, we're going to use the butterfly die with the embossing folder, the hybrid embossing folder. We're going to cut it completely out and use the 2 layers. Okay, and then we're going to use some new type of pearls called antique pearls. And those are in your new sales catalog also. And again, we're using our Dashing Designs embossing folder. And on the inside, I kept it again very open so you could use this card for whatever you want. And I used a simple hello greeting that is also in this bundle. It has a beautiful little hello right here. Okay, so that's the one I used. And again, we're using a different embellishment. And then this is beautiful designer series paper that is in your sales catalog as well. And we'll go through that in video number 2 when I explain this card to you. Okay, and the third card you're going to see that'll be in video number 3 is this card, where we're going to use that hybrid embossing folder, and we're also going to use the die, and we are going to cut out and learn how to make this butterfly that opens. Okay, and this is where we used our boho emboss, or the paper, the designer series paper that's in the suite in the catalog. And again, we use the happy birthday. And then in video number 4, I added, we're going to do the same thing in making a separate new butterfly in different colors. But in this one, I added a strip here so that our card will stand up. With card number 3, your card has trouble standing up because it doesn't go all the way to the bottom of the card. But just adding this simple strip, which gave me a place to put a different sentiment, I was able to make a card that will stand up beautifully on its own. Do you recognize the designer series paper? Here, again, it's one of the ones we used today in card number 1. So we will see that again. And again, I brought in the Riverside pearls that are so beautiful. So I look forward to having video 2, 3, and 4 with you. I hope you'll continue to watch. If you like this video, please press like at the bottom of the screen. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, ladies. See you soon.